Okay, so my name is Stephen Hill. I'm Professor of Political Science, and the course we're talking about today is my International Relations Theory class, Pols 335. I think there are two principal goals. The first is to improve students' knowledge of world politics and of international relations. Introduction to World Politics is a prerequisite for the course, so hopefully everybody that comes into the class has a kind of basic understanding of world politics. And they've already started perhaps theorizing a little bit about world politics because they've been in that course. But what I do in this class really is develop the knowledge and ability to theorize about world politics, to try and explain and understand why states behave as they do in world politics. So I'm really sort of developing their knowledge, and we're building on the work done by the great scholars of world politics and international relations and the politicians and statespeople. So we're learning from both. We're looking at the theories that try to explain and understand why states behave as they do, and then looking, of course, at the empirical evidence, what's happening in the world, and what's happening in contemporary political cases that are of interest to us, and can we use those theories to explain what's going on.
Our theory says that the international system is most stable when there is a parity of power, when there's a balance of power, and unstable when there's a major disparity. But for power transition theory, this is the unstable system, and this is the most stable.
In the process, we're also developing communication skills, because we're constantly talking and debating the theories, and there's also some group work at times when we're trying to encourage the students to communicate and work with one another, because we know that in the working environment, being able to communicate and work with others is a important skill. So we're trying to develop those skills too. So that's how, they're the two principal goals of my course, and that's how really we achieve them, by learning more about world politics, but then being able to compare and contrast the principal explanations for world politics to develop the other skills that are so important. So the class today, first of all, is going to finish off looking at power transition theory, trying to compare and contrast it with a branch of realism that we've looked at before it, which is offensive neorealism. And then hopefully, if we have time, we'll be moving on to start on our second major school of theory, which is liberal theory. So again, we're developing the skills. We're gaining greater knowledge of both realist and liberal theories, which are two competing theories of world politics. We'll be hopefully trying to generate critical questions about those theories. So I'll be getting the students to think through a particular case that might undermine or support one of those theories, and they'll have to see if they can use the theories to explain what's going on. So most important, and I emphasize this throughout all of my courses really, is that all the decisions that we make in world politics, for example, who you vote for president, when you're trying to decide who to vote for, some of the most important questions are, what will they do in the cases of foreign policy? And the only way you can appreciate whether a foreign policy is going to be successful or not is to understand how the world works, and then from there choose the prescription that you think is going to make the world more peaceful and more prosperous. And if you don't theorize about world politics, if you don't theorize about international relations, you can never truly understand the nature of world politics well enough to choose in an informed way the candidate that will be most successful. So I think that's the principal message, the importance of theorizing. Hopefully, therefore, students will seek out courses like international relations theory.